Hey, 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 what is up? Good morning, guys. It is Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Hope you're having a spectacular day so far, wherever you are. What I've got for you today is a way to think about a little strategy, kind of a two-shot strategy on your return to serve. And before we get into that, let's see. Well, topspin second serve. If yours is not behaving the way you want, meaning maybe too many double faults, or it's just sitting up, you're getting the thing in, but it's just sitting up, just begging that returner, singles and or doubles, just begging that returner to kind of take advantage and unload and take control of the point. So look, I've got a short course. It's free, no charge, complimentary, on me. It's about a 20-minute course, and the link is down below in the description area. Just go over to webtennis.com, drop in a first name and email address, and you'll get immediate access to the course. So, guys, today let's talk about the return to serve, and this is going to be an example for singles. And one of the things that I know that Jeff Jacklich and I have talked about somewhat recently is that we got to get a little more aggressive on our second serve return to serve. Right now, this is all depending that we get the ball we want. Right, sometimes a second serve, for whatever reason, just isn't in our strike zone, and you know what your strike zone is. I think too often what happens is we kind of go, okay, I'm getting a second serve. If it comes over here to my forehand, I'm just going to unload to that corner. Well, quite often you don't get a forehand, number one, and then your brain kind of goes into, well, what do I do now with a backhand? Or, you know what, it is to your forehand, but it's not, you just don't have the right spacing, right? It kind of eats up a little bit, maybe it gets up too high, whatever it is. And if that's the case, then that's not your strike zone, right? We can't take liberties with the size of our strike zone just because we've already kind of decided that if we get a ball somewhere over here that we're to do some damage. So you have to know what your strike zone is. I know what mine is. And yeah, I do the same thing. Sometimes I go, all right, sure, I can go ahead and unload on this ball that's right in here on me. Or yeah, I can unload this ball that's a little bit too low or up high, right? No bueno. So look, what we're going to look at today is actually something I got from Craig O'Shaughnessy. And Craig O'Shaughnessy is over at BrainGameTennis.com. I've actually got a link in the description area that'll take you to today's article that he wrote just a few days ago. But let me share the screen with you and show you what I'm talking about. So here we have, and I've forgotten the name of the player. This is a young kid on the tour. But what Craig likes to do is he likes to divide the court. In fact, let me get over to it. He likes to divide the court up into quarters, right? And quarters lengthwise, where on the far left-hand side is the A, then B, then C, then D. And too often what we do on a second serve return to serve is we either go to A, which really kind of narrows down our margin of safety, or we go to D, right, which also narrows it down. And if you flirt too close to the lines because you don't want that ball to come back, the chances start to go up that you're not going to hit your target, right? Unfortunately, you might go in the net, might go wide, might go deep. The same thing here with target with the letter D. So what Craig is talking about is, if you're a right-handed player, and obviously if you're a left-handed player, this is going to work from the do side as well. But to take that forehand return, assuming, this is the big assumption, it really is in your strike zone, second serve, return to serve, and pound it over here, give it a nice safe height above the net. Don't need to just be flirting with that tape, but give it a nice safe height. And typically what happens if you've got a right-handed player, let's say you're right-handed and you've got a right-handed player, what happens is the forehand on a lot of players, it takes a little nanosecond longer in terms of swing shape because of all of the hype out there about you got to go grippy, you got to go semi to full Western, you got to have a big swing shape. After they play their serve, if you take that second serve return, And in this example, play it right over here to B. Yes, they're going to be able to make a play on it, but that's okay. And what you're going to find more often than not, their shot is going to land either in B or in C somewhere. And now you take the next forehand, and it's just go to target number A. You've got a bigger target to go to A because of where you are here on the court. So what does this really mean in terms of mindset? Well, number one, yes, you're hitting your return high quality. Give it some safety margin above the top of the net, but you're going right at that server, right? So yes, there's 100% chance that they're going to be able to make a play on your return, and that's okay because this is a two-shot play. Right? Now, look, does it always work out where you actually get it to target B? No. Does it always work out that if you do get it to target B, that it comes back somewhere around, where you can unload to go to target A? No. But you know what happens? It probably happens often enough that when you practice this two-shot play, when you practice this shot pattern, that you get good enough at it so that the server starts to not want to give you a second serve, right? So they're going big on the first. They're trying to make sure they get that first serve in. They miss, and now they get a little jumpy on that second serve, and maybe you elicit a double fault from them now and then. And obviously that's one point. But how that works into their confidence, what might have been here, now you start to chip away and it gets lower and lower. So you got to start thinking of the big picture, that just because you win this 1 point with this two-shot play, let's take a second serve return to serve from the ad court. If you're a right-handed player, if you've got that server over there who's a righty, and just pound it right at them, right? I mean, whether you go to B or right down the middle between B and C, that's fine. But start thinking of that as, how does this affect that player long-term in the match? How do you start to chip away slowly but surely with this one play? And then once you actually kind of wrap your head around that, then you start to think, well, what are other plays that you can, based on your skill set, right? It may be that your forehand's average, okay, but your backhand is a monster. I don't know. But let's say your backhand's a monster, and you're in the deuce side, you're right-handed player, the guy throws in a second serve to your backhand, pound it over there right up the middle. Yes, they're going to get it. Play it right at them. And, force them to have great footwork to get out of the way, and then look for something that you can get that's going to be short, right? Maybe there are maybe there are other situations where it's a two-shot play. And yes, you win 1 point, or maybe you lose one of those points. But what you start to do is get inside that opponent's head in maybe one two-shot pattern, and maybe a couple two-shot patterns, maybe 3 of them. And don't think that, well, you have to do it every time. And just because you've got our example, which shows the ad side, right-handed player, right-handed server, that that's going to be there. It's going to be sitting there for you every time, right? It's not, right? It might be right down the tee and you're stretched out, and there'd be no reason if you get stretched out to really try to unload, as opposed to, well, maybe you have to carve it. Maybe it's a little slice underspin forehand if you're righty, where you get stretched out, and all you're trying to do is find a safe margin above the top of the net and play it deep. And lots of times, just by playing it deep, you're going to get a shorter ball for that next ball. So hope this makes sense, guys. What I've got for you down below in the description area today is a link that will take you to this article by Craig O'Shaughnessy. As you know, Craig has worked on Novak's team as his strategist, and so definitely the guy knows what he talks about. He's got a great website at braingametennis.com. But if you want to go straight to the article, just click that link in the description area and it'll take you right there. Guys, that's it for today. Hope this has helped. Would love to get your feedback, your comments, your remarks down below in the comments area. If you love this video, go ahead and hit the the like button or the share button, depending on where you are over at either Facebook or YouTube. And at YouTube, if you've not yet subscribed to my web tennis channel, would love for you to do so. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. There's also a notification bell. And when you click that, it'll give you a choice as to how often do you want to be notified when I upload either new content or go live, right? So, guys, man, do it today. Get out there. Look for that. Look for that second serve into your forehand, righty, ad side. Pound it right up the middle. Looking for, target B, and then get that short ball and unload. And look, he may guess, that server might guess that that's where you're going. So make sure when you get that second ball, you're thinking of it not as a one-shot outright winner, but that you're hitting a high quality. If it's really short, it's going to be an approach shot, right? I mean, you might have to hit another ball after that. You can't stop that guy from guessing or anticipating that that's where you're going. So if it's a short ball, think of it as an approach shot, especially, think of it meaning that you got to play your feet through it. Or if you're pounding it from somewhere deeper in the court and you hit it to target A, look up, and now do you have that opponent stretched out? And if you do, start moving it. Just take time away for their next shot. All right, guys, that's it for me today. It is time for you to get out there today, help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, I will see you again tomorrow.